Q Talks with Jools London. Our access to audio programmes are sponsored by the National Lottery Community Fund and the Scottish Government. To find out more about how to access our services, visit qandreview.com. Welcome to this edition of Q Talks from the Q and Review print, speaking to the blind virtual studio. Hopefully you've not just been listening to our chats, but also to our daily news podcasts over at qandreview.com/free podcasts, being recorded from their homes by our amazing team of 15 home readers. Today we talk to Sam Sloan from Blind Golf Scotland. Welcome, Sam.
Welcome, Jules. Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about blind golf.
Blind golf actually started, as far as I'm aware, in 1982. There was a couple of chaps up in Scotland who'd heard about activity to do with blind golfer down in England, so they decided to contact them. And we've still got one of the founder members playing with us, although he's had a bit of cancer problems lately with his shoulder, so he's not been out in the last couple of years, but he's still with us, good honorary member, and still listens to everything and watches everything that's happening.
Okay, so how old is he then?
That's when it started, 1982.
Yes.
For myself, I started in 1998.
Right. So how old is the founding member?
Jerry will be 80.
80. So still going.
We used to have a guy that played with us, and everybody in blind golf knew him. Right. Jim Watt.
Okay.
He hung his boots. He hung his boots up at the age of 94.
Oh, well done.
Problem is, he died a couple of years later, which is a pity, because he used to carry his own clubs and that half set of clubs around with him.
Brilliant. Yeah. So what got you started with blind golfing?
I got started because my son, who was 10-year-old at primary, didn't have anybody in his class who wanted to play golf. Because my sight was a wee bit better then, and I used to love listening to the golf, Peter Alice and what have you on the telly. And my son says, I fancy doing that, Dad. Will you play with me? And I said, I can't play. I can't see the ball. I've never played golf. Now, I was 45 years old by this time.
Okay.
And so we went out. One of my pals gave me a set of clubs and said, Sam, if you like it, keep them. So I went down, tried it. Son watched the ball for me. And it was very good. And I thought, I quite enjoyed it, although my score was horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wish my IQ was as high as my score, to be honest.
Okay.
It was rather high.
Yeah.
And I was determined to get it. I thought, I can't do this. And then my son said, that's for a first time. That's not too bad, Dad. And I went, all right. And he'd taken lessons, and then I took lessons with him.
Yes.
I play off 35 now. He plays off of 2. Okay,
so it was your son that was interested in golf, and then you thought, how am I going to do this with my sight? And then sounds like you've both benefited from it then.
We did. I'll tell you, it's probably the best thing we've ever done, because I've got I'm very lucky. I've got 2 lovely boys. One of them works over in Berlin just now, which is a pity, because he's a good golfer and he's a very good guide.
Okay.
So I'm missing him. My other one, he works with Network Rail. He's on shifts and that, so it's more difficult. But I've got quite a few friends, including my wife and that, who guide for me now and again. And I've done rather well, I must admit, through all the years.
Okay, so it's been a great socially and great bonding for the family as well as the activity.
Socially, it's fantastic. It's not just a case of competitive golf, although that can be an issue if you want it. I'm quite competitive, always have been. And I love the fact that we play internationals and world championships and British Opens and what have you. But the social side, I've got friends basically all over the world.
Yes.
Through blind golf. Japan, Canada, America, you name it, all these places, and it's Italy and Spain. They've all come into the scene now, and it's becoming bigger and bigger, the International Blind Golf Association.
Brilliant. So what would you say to anyone looking to be involved with starting with blind golf?
Anyone wanting to start up and who quite fancies it, get in touch and we'll point you in the right direction. We'll get your lessons sorted out. And if you do fancy it, then we can maybe try and help you out with some clubs, funding towards some clubs. Because we do get we can sometimes get funding from organisations to help us towards getting equipment. And if you do like it, you'll find that the social side is really good. You can compete. The best thing that I ever did was play for Scotland for the first time. And I did that within a year of joining.
Right.
And I've played every year since then. Since 1999, I've been playing for Scotland.
Okay.
And I'm now captain this year, I might add.
Brilliant. And where would anyone get that information from?
You'll get it off the website. You've got the England and Wales blind golf. And you've got the Scottish blind golf, blind golf Scotland. You get them on the websites. They have names and contacts for anybody who's interested. I mean, I must admit, it's probably one of the best things I ever did, because I was becoming like a couch potato. My eyes were getting worse.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is terrible. I really can't go out and do anything with
So
my sons and that. I used to take them to the football and that, but that was
Right.
about it.
Great. Okay, so that's been really great for you with your
Oh, yes.
education in your site and everything. So the Blind Golf Scotland website is scottishblindgolf.com. Is there any financial support for being involved?
What we do, the RNA give us some funding each year towards the international, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as much as we try to sort out the odd fixture where we can gain funds through charitable donations and stuff like that. We don't get much of that because we're not a large society. We're quite small. There's only about 20 regular players, if that.
Right.
But we're trying to increase that and get younger guys interested from schools and such like. The RNA, and when we do the World Championships or our British Open, we're funded by a billionaire from Japan, Mr. Hideki Handa.
Okay.
You'll have seen him. He sponsors ladies golf on the television, seniors golf. He's really well known around the world for his generosity.
Right.
And he's been really great with blind golf.
So that's very much at the high end of things, the international competition.
Yes.
What about the grassroots person that would like to come along? Are there training and lessons available?
Yes, we've got some taster sessions coming up actually. And with the development officer we've got just now, Lindsay, she's organising things with one of our members through in Glasgow, Barry, and it's an indoor arena. They're going to be getting lessons if they come along, and if they do like it, we can progress that further for them.
Brilliant.
And I can only say to young people, it's probably one of the best things you can do is to get out in the fresh air. Health-wise, it's great for you. And you keep fit-wise, and you're meeting nice people. I don't think I've met many people that I don't like through blind golf.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier that you've competed internationally. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? What your experience was like with that? How did you? Now that sounds quite quick within 1 year of taking up golf to be competing internationally. That must be quite a journey.
Because I went and got lessons. I went for lessons as soon as I started. I didn't want to go out onto a big golf course. I started at a local council course, and then I realised that you do need lessons. You can't just pick up golf clubs and go out. So I got lessons from a club I joined, Duddingston Golf Club, which is at the foot of Arthur Street in Edinburgh. Beautiful course, probably one of the best parkland courses in Edinburgh, to be honest. And I got tuition there from a chap, Tony and Alistair McLean, people like that, and they taught me quite well, and I came on pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I managed to get into the international scene pretty quickly.
Great. So I'm led to believe that the game has an interesting system of working out a handicap. Tell me a little bit about this.
Well, I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I don't deal with handicaps at all. I never have done. But it's an International Blind Golf Association. They have a handicap system. I think basically the new system is around the same system as we use. You'll have a slope, you'll go to different courses. You may have a handicap of say 17 at your own course. Now you could go to a course that's longer or more difficult on the slope system, and you might gain 2 shots, and they might say, right, on this course, you're playing off 90. But as soon as you go back to your own course, you're back to 70.
Okay.
it's quite fair. I like it. We've been using it, as I say, for years now, and I think everybody's singing off the same hymn sheet, hopefully.
Yes.
It needs a few tweaks here and there, I think.
Okay. Okay. So talk me through, if someone was interested in coming along who's blind or partially sighted, talk me through what they can expect to happen on the first day. How does that work with a guide? What does the guide do? What does the golfer do? What can someone expect to experience with coming along to Scottish Blind Golf?
First of all, there's nerves. You're going to be nervous. You either get a lift or someone can give you a lift to the golf course. But as I do say, have lessons. No doubt they're going to come along. They're going to have a guide who's maybe not experienced at doing it as well. It's good to have someone with a golf background, but it's not a necessity. A lot of people use family. As I say, my wife's never really played golf, but she guides me and guides me quite well. But when you arrive, we will put you with someone who's experienced and done it for years, just to try and carry you along and say, well, maybe if you've got a left to right, if you've got a fade, a large fade, you might say to the guide, if you aim them at that bunker there, it should come in, and stuff like that. And that's basically how I started to learn. I learned that way, but I was very fortunate because my son, at the age of 14, he was playing off there about 6 or something at the time.
Okay.
And he knew what I could hit. He didn't have golf buddies in those days.
Okay.
Press a button and you get the added. He did it all by sight, basically. He just went, it's an 8-iron, Dad, or it's a 9-iron or something like that, you know?
So he would give you those kind of cues, and you would go by that and go by that guidance.
Or you took the stroke saver, which helped as well.
Okay, great. So there may be some sighted viewers interested in volunteering to support blind golf. What positions would be available for anyone interested in helping?
What we can, we try to take new volunteers who are. We've got about 4 or 5, and we've not had a chance to actually get them out. But with the new taster sessions coming up, hopefully we can invite 1 or 2 to them and their district and see how it's done. And if they're still interested, we have them, and some chaps find it difficult to get guides where they stay, and transport's pretty difficult. We are able to use the guides as if they're volunteers, their cars and things, and we pay them for petrol and stuff like that to get them from A to B, you know?
Okay.
To try and get that sorted out.
Great. So what would you like to say to anyone who's interested in volunteering?
You get to know, it's like a big family, and the banter's good. It's a good laugh. We've had some really good laughs over the years. Some of the things that happen, totally accidental, but funny. You meet a lot of nice people, as I say. The guides meet guides from all over the world as well, and blind golfers. You get to know each other. It's really, and a lot of us keep in touch out with the golf and to see how our families are getting on and what have you. And the travel side of it's great. If you can get a wee bit of help, or if you're financially stable and can do a bit of traveling. I've been very fortunate. I've had funding from my unions when I worked for the civil service and the bank and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's handy if you are working. It's not so easy for guys who are not working, though. It's a wee bit more difficult to afford it, but we try and help out there if we can.
Brilliant. So obviously at Q and Review, we have a free audio service. Do you make use of any listening services?
I've got a lot of difficulty just now with the computer. I'm not really set up. My wife had to set me up on this today. Since I've moved, I've not been able to do much. I'm going to get a friend who's very good with software and such like to come and sort me out very shortly.
Okay, well, that's brilliant. So with Q and Review, what we have is it's a free service, and there's a talking newspaper app. There's Alexa skill, so it's possible to access services through Alexa. And the details are at www.qandreview.com/VIP audio. and /promotion. So do you think that'd be interesting to you?
I would certainly use the Alexa system until I get sorted out. Because I've got Alexa through there, and I use Alexa a lot just for information and music. Suddenly the mood can take me. Alexa, play this.
Brilliant. So again, any information anyone's interested in about Blind Golf Scotland can be access to that with scottishblindgolf.com. So that just leaves me to say, Sam, thanks very much for spending some time with us today. It's been wonderful to hear a little bit about Scottish blind golfing.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jools. Thanks for listening.
Q Talks with Jools London. Our access to audio programmes are sponsored by the National Lottery Community Fund and the Scottish Government. To find out more about how to access our services, visit qandreview.com.